ahoy hoy, and welcome to another episode of Tootie's Toy Box. I am, of course, your host, Miss Tootie Odin, and it is absolutely my pleasure to be here with you guys. I hope you've all had a wonderful week this week. It's almost over. It's almost over. If you've been paying attention to the news here in California, where I am, it's been a heck of a week, and I'm kind of tired of saying that on certain casts. So I'm hoping this will be one of the last times I have to do it. Come nuke or survival and sustenance in this country. I don't know. Tonight's episode's going to be a fun one. I promise. It's going to be so much fun. I'm not going to do doom and gloom. I have no interest in it. I'm interested in having a really good time with you guys and having a discussion if anybody shows up for it. So let's get to it. Actually, you know what? Before I do, if you guys actually like this episode, if you like any content that's here on the Tootie Toy Box channel, do me a favor, like and subscribe. Both are really free to do. I love free. Free is my favorite. It's probably a lot of people's favorites these days in this economy, right? So, yeah, at the end of this video, if you stick around for the end, thank you so much. If you like it, do one of these. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. To the newest subscribers, thank you guys so much. I had this tiny surge of subscriptions in the last few days, and I'm not really sure why, but whatever I'm doing, it must be working, and I absolutely appreciate it. And welcome, you guys. Welcome, new subscribers. I am at 65, which sounds very minuscule, but if you cram 65 people in my bedroom, that's insane. So thank you guys so much, and once again, welcome, and I hope you guys enjoy what goes on here on Tootie's Toy Box. Oh, I can't do it. I was trying to play the sound effect, but it won't play it for me. It froze on me. Whatever. Okay, I'll do it myself. Yay! Woohoo! Yay, new people. My bad. I thought I had sound effects still. Apparently they upgraded. So on Streamlabs. So apparently I have to no, with no choice now pay more money in order for me to get the basic perks that it actually came with initially. So it's fine. We'll work on it. Next week will be better. Next week I'll have sound effects for you guys. Will it be a chicken? Will it be more applause? We don't know, but you know what? It's gonna be there. And if you guys show up next week, you'll get to hear it. So show up next week. So this week we will be talking about what's been going on here in California, specifically in Los Angeles. LA County, Orange County have kind of been hit. A little bit of the IE has been sprinkled with emergencies. And Sunday night, this past Sunday night, this is true. This past Sunday night, I hit a wall with all of it. I got really tired of it, and we'll get into it. But I ended up texting my sisters pretty late in the night, maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock. And I told them, we need to prepare, and I'm not going to do this for you guys. I've been warning you guys for a long time. I went on a rant, and I went off on them because it's true. Like, at the end of the day, the person who knows what's going on is going to be the person, well, what do we do? What do we do? They're going to go to that person, and at this point, and honestly, from the very beginning, for most people who have been studying these things, it's not about I told you so. It's more about please be ready. It's more survival. It's more, hey, be prepared. If something were to happen, you have to know what to do, and you have to, because the only way to stay calm and remain calm is to know what you're doing in your next movement. There's no way to predict the end of the world. There's no way to predict how fallout will actually happen. But it's never stupid to prepare, no matter what. So we will be discussing that. I'm going to go over the bombardment, all of the things that we have actually been through in just this past week, just the last 7 days. I will go down this list with you guys. The Garden Grove crisis, of course, which I think made national news. I'm not really sure, but 50,000 people were evacuated. 7,000 gallons of methacylate, just call it meth. We're just going to call it meth. Leaked out of a giant tank, leaving people helpless, leaving people to one, completely abandon their Memorial Day plans, as this just happened this past weekend. But two, abandon their homes and live under the stress of not knowing what's next, where they're going to go. Are we going to be able to come back to our home? Because in this Garden Grove um, emergency with this chemical tank came this idea and this potential danger that it was going to explode. They had this radius around. Oh, we have to evacuate here and here because it might explode. Turns out it wasn't going to explode. Turns out it didn't explode because there was this leak apparently, where the leak kind of let everything out. Look, I'm okay with coincidences. I'm okay with luck happening. I'm okay with all of it. It just seems to happen a lot at the expense of American people, at the expense of American people in California, specifically Los Angeles County area, that are already struggling to survive because California literally taxes for your breath. They tax you for everything. So we are being hit hard, harder than I think a lot of other states. And then this isn't a comparison. I'm not trying to win anything by saying that, but it's true. A lot of Californians are actually struggling, and the very little times we have to enjoy our holidays, enjoy the traditions of Memorial Day, and to respect it the way it's supposed to be respected. Um, that was taken away from at least 50,000 people. And it sounds small on the spectrum of the nation, but at the same time, no, that's huge. That's a lot of people who had to come out of pocket to go stay in a hotel for 4 or 5 days until the situation died down. So that's one, the Garden Grove crisis. The LA River oil spill spanned 23 miles down the river. So that's another one that happened this week. It's just somebody accidentally cut an oil line. Tell as old as time. They were able to repair it, but too little, too late. Gallons have flown at this point, or spilled at this point. The power plant fire in the city of Industry. Again, it's a fire that is creeping slowly towards a power plant that may or may not explode. I'm not sure if that's been resolved yet. I found nothing more on it, which is quite interesting as well. The Pomona fire, the Sylmar fire, those are other things that were happening at the time. And lastly, the Amber Alerts. We had maybe 6 to 8 Amber Alerts in the weekend alone. Um, when I started to write it down, because it bothered me. Sunday we got like 4. Sunday alone we got 4 Amber Alerts. Um, if you don't know what Amber Alerts are, they're an automatic message that goes to your phone. We're going to talk about automatic messages that go to your phone, by the way. But it's an automatic message that goes to your phone, and it says missing person, blah blah blah. It gives you the description of the car if they have it. It's I'm sure it has. I'm hoping it has helped and saved lives, especially the lives of children. Um, but Sunday alone, we had 4 different ones. Now, as I was writing these notes down, the only thing I could think of, why would there have been so many in one week? My initial thought was, well, why are they doing this? Like, why are they bombarding us with this information? Um, Secondly, I thought maybe people were missing people who had to evacuate and hurry, right? Out of Garden Grove. Maybe it wasn't just 50,000 citizens that were accounted for. There was others that were not accounted for, and therefore they are MIA. I can't say for sure, but I'm trying to play devil's advocate, I suppose, a little bit about it. So there's that. So that's what was that? That was all of them. Yeah, that was all of them. But that was literally crammed into one weekend here in LA. And it actually kind of got me thinking about how safe would we be and how prepared would we be if we actually were to face an emergency. We just had citizens literally just miles away um had to like pack up and leave in a hurry. And luckily I haven't had that issue. I haven't had to do that personally. So uh it's an experience, isn't it? We've had people up in the mountains, up in where all the brush fires happen, even more closer to home, Pacific Palisades, and that area where they completely evacuated Malibu, which was the Malibu coast was completely burned down. Um, and suddenly, these were all sudden things. These weren't things that people were like, "Oh, let's prepare. We have this, we have that, we have the other thing." No, there's a lot of people that actually left. In fires past, people have left animals, horses, ranches burned to death because people didn't have any other choice in the matter but to leave as their home was being destroyed. So California is not unfamiliar when it comes to sudden emergencies, tragic emergencies. The National Guard lives in the ocean. Like they're right here. You know what I mean? We're not far from the government being able to be hands on when it comes to um, state emergencies. So there's that. But it got me thinking as to how close are we to an actual event where we all are in the same boat, where we all are in the same shoes, and we all have to try our best to evacuate the situations that we're in, where we all have to actually say goodbye to our domestications and move forward and move somewhere. So I what came about this was a quote I read, a quote I saw. So I'm gonna read it to you guys. I'm actually gonna show you guys. I'm gonna share it now. Um, and it's by it was a quote made by the create. Oh no, not that. It was a quote made by the creator of Fallout. Okay, so I'm gonna read it with you guys. Um, Fallout was Fallout was us just seeing the corporations were getting bigger and bigger, and we're kind of leveraging that power to make the government weaker. Laws didn't affect them, and they could pollute more and do more dangerous things. The government couldn't do anything to stop them, and that's happening. We did that because it made a future more interesting to have a game set in, but now that's happening in real life. And I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. That is exactly what's happening in real life. And the 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 comparisons can't get more intertwined. I'm not saying we're gonna have Fallout tomorrow. I'm not saying like, oh my god, like move forward. In fact, this isn't going to be a black pill conversation at all. Not even close. I'm going to do my best to stay away from conspiracy theories. There are conspiracy facts. We do understand that the government is building a foundation for us to be ready for certain things, for us to grow a hide to certain things. And again, we'll get more into that. Um, so that part we are confirmed in, but I'm not interested in saying gloom and doom and we're doomed in this and that. Yeah, not even close. But I thought that quote was very interesting because he meant it, and he's right. He's absolutely right. What's going on here now is absolutely comparable to what is going on, or what went on in Fallout, pre-Fallout, like weeks before, weeks before. Um, let me give you the comparisons, okay? So I'm going to compare Fallout 2077 to California, specifically Los Angeles 2026. The brink of war: China, Iran, Ukraine, Israel. These are my personal notes. This is what I wrote down. In Fallout, of course, as we all know, that the war was with China. But the brink of World War, I should say, World War III. Strange weather, off-season aggressive weather that's been happening all over the nation. Actually, strange weather, strange severe storms that are off season. Why is this happening? It's summertime. Why is it scorching hot in the winter? We just had that a few weeks ago where it was like almost 100 degrees and it was dead center in the middle of winter. So, things like that. And it's not just happening here in California and LA. I only live here, so I know that it's happening here, but I have seen and confirmed reports that it is happening elsewhere around the globe. Um, desensitization, desensitization, desensitization of so violence in society, basically violence and degeneracy in society. Like we're going to get into that a little bit more later, but just being able, just visually seeing all these videos and this violence, and we saw we saw 9/11 happen. We witnessed it live on television. We saw Charlie Kirk going viral of his assassination. There's plenty of others. There's plenty of others. Um, uh, it's not even just that. It's not even the desensitization of like violence. Let's talk OnlyFans. Let's talk the desensitiz. Anyway, I can't say the word, but let's talk how it's a conditioning of what society is actually doing now, all around, well-rounded version of brain rot, especially when it comes to adults in the age of influence, between the age of 20, or the age of like maybe 14 to maybe the age of like 45, 55, where you're sort of in your human prime, right? And even that might be too big of a gap. um but it doesn't change the fact that we're seeing these images, and maybe it does start with the actual kids, where they see these images, and for some reason it gives them an idea that life isn't as valuable as we think it is. So maybe that is the pretense to school shootings. Maybe that is the pretense to um, other masochistic events that a lot of children tend to do. We see more and more that kids are plotting and planning and premeditating murders, in a way that we've never seen before, previously. And again, and personally, I think it's just this idea that kids are so saturated with media and social media that I think a lot of them genuinely believe that people can come back. I think a lot of them genuinely believe that respawning is real. Like I said, just desensitization all over the place. Why is that word so hard? Am I saying it wrong? Is there too many letters? Um, Rapid technological advances, Tesla, Waymo, Alexa AI. There's more to that, of course. We're going to get into that as well. The removal and replacement of architecture, be it historical and or just infrastructure. We're starting to see our buildings change. We're starting to see statues being torn down because rabble, rabble, rabble. That's the worst thing you can ever put up, and how dare you? And that's racist, and this, and that. You know what I mean? So history is being erased. American history, this young country about to hit its 250th birthday on July 4th, this young country is being completely erased from what we've known it to be. And it's been happening for the last 30 years, at least that I've witnessed, maybe even more than that for others who've been here longer than me. Um, Propaganda and fear mongering, we're definitely going to get into that. We see that everywhere. We are bombarded. Again, relative to 9/11, relative to Charlie Kirk, relative to all of that, just being completely desensitized about dangers and this and that. But at the same time, oh my God, I'm so scared. You know what I mean? It's a mind fuck. It's just mind fuck is what it is. Medical advancements beyond belief. That's another one. So we are reaching technologies that are ahead of where we're actually at when it comes to their side effects. Ozempic being one of the main ones. I don't judge it. I don't judge any of it really. Pharmaceuticals are pharmaceuticals. Human beings are going to make their choices about them. It's wise to be informed about those choices, but when you're sick and you're not feeling well, I understand the desperation. Um, you know what I mean? Again, I just have no interest in judging, but considering that we do push drugs that we don't really know what they do. The COVID vaccine, we pushed it multiple times. Take your first dose, take your second dose, take your third dose, and we don't know what the hell that does. Still to this day, we don't know exactly what it does, but it certainly doesn't protect from COVID, does it? Um, what else? Oh, the newest thing is the resurrection pill. Apparently there's this pill that's available, for to raise you from the dead. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just something that I actually read. It's something I've seen that Donald Trump actually talked about this. So, all right, we'll see. But suppose that's true. Suppose it's true that there is an actual technology where people can come back from the dead. I actually don't have any doubt. I don't think it's a pill you take. Um, but there is definitely something to that. Zombie movies don't just come out of nowhere, um, for sure. So, there's definitely something to that. Uh, okay, where am I? I have my notes here. Listen, oh, I already did that one. Okay. Um, so yeah, so that those are the comparisons. I think one of the first things I want to hit with you guys is the desensitization of society. There was this time, I don't know if you guys remember, last year, February 26th. I'm gonna read it here. I'm gonna read it for you now. February 26, 2025, deemed the darkest day on Instagram, was a day where violent and sexually explicit content was distributed globally over the platform, bypassing all filters and parental controls. The issue was fixed after a few hours and was explained as an infrastructure glitch. But was it though? Was it a glitch? I remember that day quite well, actually. I don't know if you guys were hit. If you actually remember it too, where you were just suddenly scrolling through your Instagram and the most violent videos just started popping up out of nowhere. Animal abuse, human, you know, human tragedies, um, nudity, tons of that too. I certainly saw it on my Instagram last year, and I just thought like, okay, well, whatever. Like Instagram's doing new things, and it wasn't until I actually looked it up. I went on Twitter and I looked it up, like what's going on, like in Instagram down because eventually, excuse me, eventually it did go down so that they can fix the issue. Give me 1 second. Holy crap! It's a live show, folks. My bad. Excuse me. Um, so yeah, when Instagram goes down automatically, the first thing that I do is I go to Twitter. When anything goes down, I go to Twitter, and I see what's down, and then immediately I get the information that I'm looking for. So apparently that's the reason why Instagram went down that day, and the only reason why I was and a lot of people were able to put two and two together is because everybody was collectively getting these, like around the world, not just LA, not just like this bubble. There's no bubble. The entire globe started getting this algorithm around them, which is absolutely unheard of. And absolutely like, oh well, it was an accident. You know what I mean? Like how just a simple glitch, just a slip in this day and age, right? Just a slip. Maybe it was. Okay, I'm not doing, like I said, I'm not doing the whoo, I'm not doing all that. Maybe it was. It's fine. It's fine if it was, but not. Next. Oh, did I have something on that? Hold on. I do actually. You know what? No, I don't. Let's move forward. Um, the removal and replacement of historical architecture and infrastructure. Now, I don't necessarily have anything on this particularly, but what I do have is Vault 111 and how he. It's funny how he explains things. Um, in Fallout, the salesman is at this woman's house and he's trying to actually sell her on Vault 111. But listen to the words that he's actually saying when he does that. I had one more video for you guys before this. It was a news video. Ah, shit. You know what? I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share it. I didn't want to share it because it's not loud. Um, I don't know what happened in the transfer, but the audio is really low. So unless you guys turn yours up really really loud, you won't be able to hear it. But you know what? Let me see. I think it's an important one. I do. I think it's an important one to share. This is actually the news from one of the Fallout games. And just listen to what he actually says. Um, it might be because I took this down when I had my earphones on. I don't know. But if it's too low for you, I apologize. But I think it's important. I think it's important to share. So give me a sec.
Now look at sports. Something that is unquestionably, inescapably American. I am referring, of course, to our great national pastime, baseball. This afternoon, right here in the city, Boston's swatting Sultans will swing for the fences. Led by star pitcher Matt the Missile Murtaugh, Boston hopes to defeat Texas and deliver their first World Series victory since 1918. Turning to economic news of the day, Voltec stock continues to rise as tensions with China reach an all-time high. With the world poised on the brink of war, Voltec is reporting a record number of reservations in vaults around the country. Voltec announced a continuation of their popular Welcome Home promotion. They report openings are still available in area vaults 81, 111, and 114. Since debuting Vault 76 last year in honor of America's tercentenary, Vault-Tec continues to expand with plans for well over 100 vaults around the country. And now our exclusive coverage of the continuing volatile situation with communist China. Chinese forces may have finally been driven from Anchorage, but the conflict has transitioned into a frighteningly tense stalemate. With diplomacy all but suspended and conventional warfare taking a historic toll on both sides, many have wondered if the good old US of A hasn't finally entered into a fight it just can't win.
So what? What? So yes, it does sound absolutely familiar to what we hear in the news today. From the sports news to what is going on in China to, oh, will they, won't they? Are we going to war? What's going on? Pretty much the same things. Now, for what's interesting here is that this is literally just days away from fallout. So these people already are in a position to prepare themselves. These vaults are normal for them. The idea of having to protect yourself and take cover is a normal idea for these people at this point. They have been conditioned and destroyed so far down this inescapable idea of control that if they even fathomed trying to survive on their own, they'd probably be deemed crazy. How many years ago was it when they had that show Doomsday Preppers on Fox, and those people were seen as crazy? Doomsday Preppers was a show just to make fun of people who were trying to make sure that they were ready for the end of the world, and we made fun of them in the early 2000s. So Vault 111, that's another thing I wanted to show you real quick. Vault 111 and how he's so passionate about selling this to this woman. There we go. Oh. All right, let me do it that way. And
country has gone to heck in a handbasket.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Let me start it over.
Country has gone to heck in a handbasket. If you'll excuse my language. The big kaboom it's inevitable, I'm afraid. And coming sooner than you may think, if you catch my meaning. Now, I know you're a busy woman, so I won't take up much of your time. Time being, a precious commodity. I'm here today to tell you that because of your family service to our country, you have been pre-selected for entrance into the local vault. Vault 111.
Oh, it's not. So Vault 111, excuse me, oh my goodness. Vault 111 sold as decontamination pods. Oh no, I'm okay. I thought I was muted. Vault 111 held citizens literally frozen in time. After 180 days of waiting for actual confirmed communication and never receiving any, the staff abandoned those frozen in the pods to remain frozen indefinitely. Yeah, what a brutal idea, what a brutal experiment. And as we all know, for those who actually have played the games of Fallout, it's all sick. It's all sick. And these experiments were happening even before pre-Fallout. These experiments were happening. They were trying to test and see what people are going to do and how they were going to react to Charlie Kirk's assassination and how they were going to react to the tearing down of certain statues and how they were going to feel about certain things and this and that and how they were going to feel about the infrastructure changing and the economy changing and crashing. And that's what they were doing. Exactly what's going on now. I have chat. What's going on? Who's in chat? In this economy. Exactly. My dear, where have you been? It's good to see you. Oh my God. In this economy. That's our favorite joke, by the way. It's the best joke ever. Never let the bit die. Never let the bit die. It's so good to see you. I'm so happy you're here. Oh my God. So yeah. So that's Vault 111. That is us. That is not us. That is the government. That is those in charge selling you the idea that you're safer with them than you are on your own. And all the while, all they're doing is experimenting on you, experimenting on us currently in this state, in every state, but currently in this state, we are all being experimented on. We are all being psychologically manipulated, whether we want to believe it, whether we know it or not. Again, it's not a conspiracy. It is what it is, and that's okay. Because if we didn't know, how are we to protect ourselves from it? So we are only here to spread joy, to spread positivity, and to understand that it doesn't have to be this way. We don't have to see things the way they see things, and we don't have to see things in doom and gloom forever, because it's not. Because protection and preparation are key, constantly. Doesn't mean it's going to be 100% successful. We have no idea how any of this is going to end, when it's going to end, if it's going to end. None of us do. But at the same time, it would be foolish, again, not to prepare. The next one, propaganda and fear mongering on a large scale. Like I said, Charlie Kirk, 9/11, all the things that we see in our face. I actually kind of wrote it down, didn't I? Yep. 9/11, Charlie Kirk, George Floyd, COVID, monkeypox, Ukraine, hantavirus, etc. Russia, China. Large-scale fear-mongering. Large scale. Everybody be scared of this. Everybody be scared of cops. Everybody be scared of 9/11 and terrorists and Palestine. Everybody be scared of white supremacists because they're racist. Everybody be scared of monkeypox because don't be gay. Don't be gay because you'll get monkeypox. Everybody be scared of hantavirus. Again, hantavirus, that's not a thing. Have you noticed? We haven't paid attention to it. So suddenly it's not a thing. Next is Ebola, by the way. Ebola's next. I was told today that Ebola's next. So, Ebola's making a comeback like the McRib, you guys. Okay. On a smaller scale, and this is important too, just so you know. I have a few things I want to share with you guys on this. The first one is a viral post. I don't know how viral it went, but here locally it was viral. But a viral post that got people fighting about something. Let me go back this way. It literally says in big letters on my notes, "Move left." Let me show you. And then I go right. Where is it? Move left. Move left. And I literally go the wrong way, but whatever. Here we go. This is it right here. Staged videos of homeless in LA are being made as propaganda. Now, why the hell would they do this? Why the hell would somebody do this? And I don't care politically who it is who does this. I haven't looked it up, if I'm being honest. I'm not trying to defend anybody. I'm not trying to print a veil over whoever this is. I don't give a shit who this is. It doesn't really matter. I could just as, anyway, it doesn't even matter who this is. What matters is the reaction it received from the general public. Small scale propaganda, small scale triggering, small scale rage baiting. We see it all the time. I am not innocent to rage baiting, just so you guys know. I don't rage bait at all, or at least I don't think I do. But I respond to it. I definitely respond to it. I respond to it because I'm good at it. I am mean. I don't mean to be mean, but I am mean. I've lived a life. But yeah, I thought that was interesting because I didn't involve myself. I gotta turn this down because I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I don't want copyright shit. I don't normally involve myself in that kind of stuff because what am I going to do about it, for one, personally as a citizen? Two, anything I say online about any of this stuff gets some sort of negative reaction. So it's just a waste of genuine, real energy. It's just a waste. It's not for me to respond to stuff like that. You call me fat, I'm gonna respond, but I'm just kidding. I do though. So don't. That's not nice. But yeah. So that's a smaller scale. I thought that was actually kind of interesting. The other one I have for you guys is Hawaii. Hawaii. What do you mean Hawaii? I got it for you. Hold on. I mixed my notes up. I sure did, didn't I? Hold on. Why did I do that? Oh, here we go. Hawaii. January 13th, 2018. Hawaii. Mass text sent to all phones. Oh, you know what? Let's pull that up, you guys. Hold on. I'm on fire now, you guys. This is it. We are cooking with grease, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I'm going backwards again. Move left. Okay. I'm not going to listen again. Right here, you guys. Oh, you know what? Let's do this one first. Class act and propaganda. Hold on. And then I'm going to play what I want to play. Hold on. Go.
Propaganda, baby. Some great marketing and fear-mongering are all it takes to seize one's life earnings for revolts. So a lot of people probably bought in that bigger is better for their handgun. I mean, this was an age where people had miracle medicine that could heal open wounds in seconds. Stimpaks could stop bleeding and flat out heal flesh. There was even a resurrection stimpak being cooked up in the cancelled Fallout MMO. That should say a lot. There was...
Okay, so going back to what I just said about COVID and everything. The vaccines. Oh my God. Well, take this. You have to take this. Trust us, please. Trust us. Don't you get it? You have to trust us. And again, the resurrection pill. That Trump suddenly like, oh my God. Oh yeah. People raised from the dead. You know what I mean? Like it's these are absolutely insane, plain God type actions. And the thing is, they're probably real. They're probably real. You know what I mean? They're probably real. You know, again, I'm not interested in going into the deep dives and those rabbit holes because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I can either take it with a grain of salt and clench my butthole and be like, oh, well, no, everything will be okay. We'll be fine. I can do that. That's fine. Or I can actually look into it maybe a little bit too much in my case, I admit. But I can actually look into it and see, hey, just in case, let me prepare. January 13th, 2018, at exactly 8:07 a.m., mass text sent to all phones stating, where you at, bitch? Not that one, not yet. Mass texts were sent to all phones stating emergency alert, ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill. The catastrophic false warning was triggered by human error during a shift change at the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency. The retraction came 38 minutes later. Oops. Gotcha. Right? Insanity. Oh, our bad. Accidental. Our bad. Oh. Pfft. But I got to tell you this and remind you guys. That's exactly what we did. Oh, mistakes. That's why they have erasers on pencils. It was just a mistake. Meanwhile, real people were texting and calling and giving goodbyes and saying goodbyes to their family members. Real humans had to go through that trauma. Be it 38 minutes. It was 38 minutes of my life is about to be over. And I didn't prepare to see how it was going to end. I didn't prepare to see if I could survive. Fine. Accidental. Human glitch, human error, shift change. All right. Got you. For sure. Is this the second page? No, that's the first page. Okay, hold on. I wrote a lot of notes for this one. But that's it. that's oh, I hear noise outside. I'm sorry. Um, Preparation. Let's move to preparation. People of Hawaii were informed and prepared in a matter of seconds. The people of Garden Grove, informed and not prepared in a matter of seconds. So how does one prepare? I wrote a general list. I was kind of hoping to have a discussion about how we compare. This is my list, but again, it could change, and it probably will change. Um, Rule number one, honestly, you guys, in survival mode, rule number one, it really is every man for himself. We will have to grow a hide to the idea of accepting loss, be it loss of our homes, loss of our properties, our assets, our jobs, of course. Um, and it obviously gets deeper. Our pets, um, our livestock, our families, our children, our spouses, our parents, our wives, our husbands. It gets deeper. A matter of survival and being able to survive and protect you and yours comes with a responsibility to make sure that you are forever steadfast in the moment of accepting loss. That's real shit. It's not easy. There's plenty of people who aren't going to be able to do it. There's going to be plenty of mass unalivings. I hate that word, by the way, but there's going to be a lot of them. A lot of people going out together, a lot of purging, a lot of violence, um, a lot of things that we're going to have to accept as loss that we're not going to be able to do in a matter of seconds. Grief takes a long time. Grief never goes away, in fact. So how does one cope with survival? Well, you run on your adrenaline, you run on your logic, you run on your instinct, and you run on the things that you've already prepared for. What I have here is for initial escape, a 2-week supply of food in a storage bin. Again, not even that is very realistic. When push comes to shove and you have 30 seconds to get into your car, it's very possible you're not going to remember that 2-week storage bin of food you have ready to take with you. That's a possibility too. So, you know what I mean? All these things, there's so many scenarios and so many factors that we have to take in. And the truth is, it's not something you can actually practice for without looking like an insane human being. You know, I understand that. I get that. I get Doom's War preppers. I get it. Small and flexible is key. And what I mean by that is, excuse me, once again, what I mean by that is a small pouch with survival, a drinking straw, one that filters out impurities from your water, a flint, matches if you can, waterproof them, a small knife, a larger knife that you can carry on your thigh. You know, pack light, pack small, pack, and eventually, obviously guns, weapons, and things of that nature. Give me 1 second, please. Sorry. My asthma is really acting up right now. I probably shouldn't have taken a hit of my vape. It's my fault. I'm useless. I would never survive. I would never survive these situations. I am terrible at this advice. Anyway, number 3, cash is king for a while. Okay. So if you have cash available, bury it, hide it, do what you got to do. The bank's obviously digital, is going to go out. It's not going to work forever. Temporarily, cash will work for you guys. So put it away. Also start collecting nuggets of silver, gold, and copper. Silver, gold, and copper are all very conducive scientifically. So they're going to be primo precious metals. They already are. That's why the homeless people have a big market on copper right now. They know what's up. Move away from the cities. Yes, that's a huge one. Leave Like move, like fucking go. Like what are you doing here still? Get away from the cities. The cities are going to be filled with violence, filled with perjury, filled with people who didn't prepare. That's where the city's going to go. The first thing you're going to do is get in your car and you're going to move forward. Now, one thing I will say for you to do that is you have to have at least 2 25-gallon jugs of gasoline prepared to go. I think that's pretty important. But again, not realistic. What if you're not home? What if you're at work? What if your children are at school? There's scenarios that are not going to always work out in our favor. And these are questions that we have to ask ourselves in order to understand that this can happen at any time. And we have to have plans B, C, D, and F, E, A, B, C, D, E, E. You know what I mean? Invest in maps and Thomas guides. Yes, I think that's an important one. Maps, physical paper maps, Thomas guides through and through. The Thomas guide is very easy to read. It's literally this and this. It's just coordinates. That's all it is. It's very, very easy to read. I assure you. The Thomas guide is great. I used it before we had phones because I'm old. So we've had the Thomas guide for a long time. Use it. Find one. They are under the one here specifically in LA County, Orange County. Look, if you want one for the entire nation, it's going to run you about $600. If you want one specifically for your area where you can just escape where you are, that's probably going to run you about 30 to 40 bucks, just so you know. Look it up, research it, but they do exist and they are real. Zombie survival kits. That's an easy go-to because it does hold a compass. It holds several things that you can have in your possession. Like half the shit in the zombie survival kit, which is exactly what it's called, which is $45 on Amazon. I can fit half that shit in my boobs. You know what I mean? So like there's so much room for activities here for me. But my point is that stuff can be hidden anywhere on anyone's body. And I think the practicality of it is important. You have to be able to move. You have to be able to move. And I'm speaking as a fat. I have to be able to move in order to survive. There's no way I'm surviving anything if I can't run, if I can't move, if I can't protect. So get fit, get healthy. We're in this together. Solar walkies and satellite phones. I did write that down. Solar walkie-talkies and satellite phones. I do think that they're helpful, again, only temporarily. I'm not really sure how reliable either one is. I've never tried either one, but they do have long range. I'm sure they're not cheap. So, they're on the list for people who can afford them. I certainly cannot. Another thing I would invest in is small hooks, fishing lures that you just save that you can keep in your pocket so that you can fish fresh water and just collect small, because protein, no matter what, is protein. If you're ever in a survival situation, you can always catch something. Snares are important. Collapsible water vases are important. There's a lot of little things that come into survival, but again, we can't predict what is exactly going to happen, and that's fine. We're not supposed to, and we can't look into the future like, oh no, everything's going to end. No, man. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And at the same time, it's not really something that we need to stress out about as a human race. If we ignore the propaganda, if we ignore as much as possible of what's going on, and we start to focus on what we can do for ourselves, we start to focus on what we can gain by building our own garden, by raising our own chickens, by hatching our own eggs, by sustaining our own lives, they lose. That's why they're throwing ticks on boxes and boxes of ticks around farms across the nation right now. They see what's going on. And the video I showed you with the guy with the mask, he was real. He meant it. Did I show that to you guys? I'm pretty sure I did. I think I did. The infrastructure is changing on purpose. And I'm not here to suggest that the government is attacking us specifically. I'm here to suggest that the government is desensitizing us to be prepared for what is next. For some reason, wars are important to our government. There's a lot of money in war, unfortunately. There's a lot of power in war, unfortunately. And we are still at 250 young years old, a very experimental country. We happen to gain power very quickly as a young country, a teenager, essentially, compared to other countries that we see and work with and negotiate with around the world. Very immature, making immature movements with our power. And it will eventually come back to bite us in the ass. And I think the government, if nothing else, is absolutely preparing for that. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. I appreciate you so much. Miss Wild Flourish, what are you doing here? I love you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. If you liked this episode, please leave me a like. One of these guys. If you really like this episode, do me a favor and subscribe to this channel. I am absolutely on my way to 1K for 2026. And I'm very much hoping that I reach that, as unrealistic as it is at this moment. I'm still believing. So I hope you guys sit there and believe with me. And I hope to see you guys next weekend. No, not next weekend. I'm working. Next week. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, ladies and gentlemen, and prepare yourselves for a pending doom. Okay, bye.